Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Dale Calvert. I'd like to welcome you to our Thursday night No Fluff Network Marketing webinar. We do these every Thursday night. They're generic. They're open to anyone who would like to attend. And I appreciate you guys being with us. I know we got a lot of new people. This is your first ever webinar, so I want to thank you as well as the people that are with us every single week. I appreciate you guys being with us tonight. Tonight, we're really going to get down to where the rubber hits the road. And I'm going to give you a lot of history, a lot of documentation, a lot of facts. And I think if I can communicate this correctly and you can hear it in the spirit in which it's intended, that it can make a major impact on your business and on your future in the network marketing industry. So I am very excited about this information. Some of you, those of you that were with us last week, and took advantage of the promotion that we were doing with the new CD that was just released on Amazon. If you have not yet left a review, we had a lot of orders, but not that many honest reviews yet. I just wanted to give you that link because we are doing a drawing at the end of the webinar tonight, as we promised we would last week. The direct link will take you right there, dalecalvert.com/SAK review. You want to do that, leave an honest review so you will be in the drawing at the end tonight. For those of you that are first time, I just want to reiterate what we're going to cover tonight. And this is not marketing fluff. We stated when you registered that in this webinar, we're going to help you learn why recruiting new team members is a major hurdle for most of the members of your team, and how to finally eliminate this hurdle once and for all. And if nothing else, we're going to show you how to stack the odds in your favor. You're going to learn the 7 most important recruiting insights that simply are not being taught today. We will going to help you get past the fluff down to reality. The concepts that we're going to share have really been overshadowed by the marketing foo-foo dust, as I call it, and false promises from so many self-proclaimed gurus that have never done what they're trying to teach you to do. You're going to learn the 7 insights. They're not only going to help, that these insights not only help me, but fortunately we were able to teach these to others, that we're able to teach these to others. And really, what I'm going to share with you tonight will propel your recruiting efforts way beyond the masses and those that are out in the marketplace attempting to build productive teams. For those of you that have never been with us before, the first thing you should always ask yourself, who is this person? Why should I be listening to them? I cannot stress that's the best advice I can give anybody. Always ask, who is this person? Why should I be listening to them? I started my network marketing career at age 20. I was the most least likely to succeed person you would have ever met. You can see my house that I was living in. It was a 600 square foot home. I was driving a beat up Chevette. It took me longer to make a 6-figure income than anybody I've ever met in the network marketing business model. I was able to leave my job after 5 years of continuous, consistent, part-time effort. My 9th year, my income was $92,000. My 11th year, it jumped to 1.1 million, and it all happened by design. I expected that to happen when it happened, and we built our team in such a way that it would have been ironic if it hadn't have happened. Our 13th year it jumped to 3.3 million. Our 14th year was 3.8 million. When I was 39, I retired. You'll learn more about why I did that as we go through tonight. But I said, I'm done with this business model and I want to pursue other things. At that time, my phone started ringing and people started asking me to speak at different events and do webinars for their team and Super Saturday events, and some corporate consulting opportunities opened up, and network marketing support services just kind of went to a whole different level. It was nothing that I ever really planned on happening. It just happened. Just to back up a little bit, when I enrolled in this industry, my sponsor, I was 20 years old, my sponsor quit 2 weeks after I joined. I didn't know who my upline was, but the one thing my sponsor did do is give me a sheet that allowed me to order audio cassettes from different people around the country from different events that had been held. And I started ordering those audio cassettes, and I was blessed enough to have a job that allowed me to wear a Walkman 8 hours a day. And I just listened to those cassettes. I just listened over and over and over and over, 8 hours a day. My first 3 years, over 7,500 hours worth of audio. And looking back today, I realize what a profound impact that made as we were building. I can't even express it, but I realized that I was given an opportunity that 99.999% of the people that ever get involved with the network marketing business model will never have. And I never really appreciated it until about a year ago. And I started to understand. Dale, you learn more from the people who built businesses that you like, that had titles but did not have the freedom that you wanted to have. You learn more. You learned a lot because I had the opportunity to listen to people not just within my company, but companies like Herbalife and Amway and Mary Kay, some of the pioneers in this industry. And it really shaped and formed my career in this industry. If it wasn't for the Walkman, I would not have the opportunity to be speaking with you tonight. And in the late 90s, I did my first generic training. It was called Confessions of a Network Marketing Millionaire, and that led to a lot of other opportunities. One of those was the opportunity to be on an audio program that I'm holding there in a picture that we took in our office about, I don't know, a few months ago. And I had the opportunity to be on an audio program with one of my mentors, my personal development mentors, Jim Rohn. And I was really shocked because I was from a little small town in Kentucky. Nobody knew who I was. I was just a small town kid that got plugged in, and I had built an awesome organization. And I was asked to speak on the first MLM cruise years ago, and that was actually recorded, and was the guy that put this tape set together asked if he could put me on that program. And it was just really overwhelming. And then I received it in the mail, and this is what he said about me, which I wasn't offended, but I was kind of taken back. He said, Dale Calvert typically charges $500 an hour for consulting, and people gladly pay it. Why? Because what Dale teaches has enabled dozens of people to reach millionaire status while building their network marketing business. Dale is known not to candy coat things. In fact, Dale is one of the most controversial individuals in our industry simply because he speaks his mind. He's built an organization of over 60,000 distributors, has done in excess of $100 million in wholesale sales, become a multimillionaire as a result of the industry. In this tape, Dale will share with you how to SAC, sponsor, activate, and keep distributors, which is actually the audio that we had converted to CD recently. I had no clue that I was one of the most controversial people in the industry because I spoke my mind. It kind of really took me back. But if you've never been on one of our webinars tonight, prepare for the rubber to hit the road, because I really, really want to communicate a point that I am confident 99% of the people don't even think about, if not really even considered. And I think it's crucial for the long-term success, not just of you, but as the industry as we know it. Why do I do what I do? In July 2015, for the first time in my life, even though we had been operating network marketing support services since 2000, when I retired from building teams, in July, I came to the conclusion, and I'll tell the whole story one day, but that, I need to be sharing what I know. That because I just continued over the last 15, 20 years, have seen the industry get so far away from the foundational roots on which it was built upon. And I made the conscious decision in July that I'm going to do my best to support the industry, support people, that I owe it to the industry because of what a significant difference it has made in my life. So that's why I do what I do. I got this was on social media this week. Tony Williams, Tony's in New York. She says, "Thank you, Dale, for all your great experience that you're sharing with us. As many times as I have started over, this is the best because I'm starting over with guidance and some structure due to your teaching. I believe that the industry needs guidance and structure more than it ever has, and I've always believed that." In July, I realized that we had just gotten to a mode where I call it the blind leading the blind. And again, I am not talking contradictory towards any particular company, individual. That's not where I'm living, and that's not where I'm coming from. I do believe if the shoe fits, wear it. But I am just thinking, as an industry, we have got to take things to a different level, and people have got to really learn the skill sets and mindsets necessary if they expect to have success. This is not the lottery. I love this picture. I found it this week somewhere, and it says, if you want to learn to swim, who would you want to learn to swim from? Doesn't the same logic apply to your business? And see, you might like the cow. You might know, like, and trust the cow. Okay, you can know the cow, like the cow, trust the cow. But the real question is, can the cow teach you to swim? And I see so many people getting so lost because they are listening to the wrong people. And I don't know how to say it any clearer than that. Tonight, we're really going to get down. We're really going to get down tonight to where the rubber hits the road. I'm not going to pull any punches at all. But again, I want you to understand in the spirit in which it was intended. And I see a lot of you are jumping on, right now. We've got more people jump on. Let me just make this announcement real quick because I don't want you all to get upset with me. If you guys participated in the SAC promotion, we're doing a drawing at the end of this webinar. Please go to the website that you see, the direct link that you see at the bottom here, and leave your review, because we're going to draw from the people that have left us reviews, honest reviews. We've sold a lot, but we've only had about 15% when we started tonight that actually left a review. So I just wanted to give you guys another chance before we really get into it. Now, let me start with this. I think there is more upside potential for value-focused people that care about people, network marketing distributors, than at any time in history. I really believe that. And let me say it again, because I don't want people misunderstanding where I'm coming from or what I'm saying tonight. So again, I really believe that there's more upside potential for you over the next 5 years than at any time in the history of network marketing. Let's imagine that you want to go from JFK, from New York to San Francisco. And at the top there, you're looking at the flight path from New York to San Francisco. Now, if the pilot sets the autopilot just a minor degree off course. Just a minor degree off course. The further we go down the road, the further off course we are really going, even though it's just a minor degree when we take off. And instead of ending up in San Francisco, we'll end up in Vancouver. Okay, now why do you say that, Dale? Because in my opinion, the industry, and I'm going to document this with some facts that many of you can relate with, we got a little bit of what we thought was a little bit off course a few years ago, and we've continued, and it's compounded. It's really compounded. We started off with a bad idea, and then we try to recover with worse ideas and then even worse ideas. And that's what I personally see when I sit back and I look at the industry, the people, where it is, where it should be based upon the entrepreneurial explosion that's happening around the world. And when I sit back and look at it, I almost feel like we've landed in the Pacific Ocean. We didn't even get close to Vancouver. We landed in the Pacific Ocean. And I look, and every day I feel like I'm talking to people that are in lifeboats that have become many times not to their own lack of work ethic, lack of willingness to learn, but just of the misdirection that has been given out, that they end up in the middle of the ocean in a lifeboat. And it bothers me. I'm trying not to become so cynical, and it really doesn't. I'm not as cynical. I'm better than I used to be, but it bothers me. And you may see this as depressing, but I see this as really exciting, because the reality is the business model itself, the network marketing business model, has never changed. It's as powerful today as it ever was. It's as powerful today as it ever was. It gives average people with above average desire the opportunity to create wealth. Where can you start with an investment many times less than $500 and create millions of dollars in income? When I started, I put $300 and a few dollars into my business in 1980. I've never put another nickel into it. I reinvested my profits and made millions of dollars. And there's many people that are doing the same thing today. But let's get down to the real facts of what's going on. There's $11 billion network marketing direct sales companies in the world. Each one of them were started prior to 1981. I can't remember a pitch in the last 15 years that I've heard where somebody's not saying, we're going to be the next $1 billion company, blah, 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 blah. In 3, 4, 5 months, a couple years later, they're gone. Everybody has this dream to be the next $1 billion company, but nobody really has the path to make that happen, in my opinion. Since 1995, this is important. People will tell me, Dale, you shouldn't say this. Maybe I shouldn't, but it's true. And if you're a six-figure earner, and I know we have many with us tonight, are on your way, you better listen up to what I'm getting ready to say. Since 1995, there's more people that have come into the network marketing industry, built it to a six-figure income, and today are not even involved in the industry than there are current six-figure income earners. Since 95, we've lost more than we've gained. That's reality. At one time, the industry used to talk about a 3 to 5 year game plan to financial independence. Today, we're all pitching, if you just get 3, your product can be free. Do you guys understand how profound that is? At one time, everybody was talking about developing wealth, creating financial independence. Today, it's if you will just get 3, your product is free. Let's go back. In 1999, I wrote this article, and this was the gist of the article. Inspire greatness or cater to mediocrity? That is the question. That's where we were in 1999. Now, in 1999, the let's copy everybody else, get 3 and yours is free promotion was not rampant, but it is a result of what had happened up until 1999. First time guest, again, I am trying to make an impact for you tonight. I'm trying to shake you, no question about it, because I believe the industry needs to be shook. I want you to know that everything I'm saying, I don't have a dog in the fight. I don't have a company that I hope you will eventually join me in. Okay, this is totally coming from a labor of love. It really is. I've lived it, I've done it, I've duplicated it. I know how it happened. It didn't happen by accident. Because my mindset has always been on growth. It's all about growth, personal development, growing, learning, refining, getting better. When something doesn't work, stop doing it, refine it, change it so you can teach it. Everything that I learned is based upon wisdom of the ages, principles that I learned from people like Earl Nightingale, Jim Rohn, Les Brown, Zig Ziglar, Og Mandino, Dr. Norman Vincent Peale, and the list goes on and on. There's no ego involved. There's no ownership. That's never been a factor. I just want to produce and help other people produce. Our time is the most valuable asset that we have. I was smart enough when I was 20 years old, when I got involved, to know that I did not know anything. The foundation on which I believe this is the key to the whole thing. So many people today are concerned about marketing tips and tricks and hacks. And the reality of this business model is if you build people, people will build the business. The network marketing business model is not flawed. It's not. But the common practices, thinking of distributors is extremely flawed. It's out in the Pacific Ocean somewhere. I wish that hadn't gone all the way up. Hopefully this next one won't. It is. I don't know why it's doing that. We are stuck as an industry. We are stuck. This is important. I want you to hear what I'm saying. We are stuck in the everybody just sponsor each other mode. The industry is stuck in let's just sponsor each other. We are stuck in that paradigm. That's why we're not leading the charge in this entrepreneurial movement that's happening around the country. Most people say, okay, I just joined a network marketing company. You ask most people, here's what happens with most people. They call everybody that they know that they've ever met in any company they've ever been in. And after that, they sit back for a while to wait for it to start duplicating. It doesn't. So then they decide they need to go on social media and position themselves as an expert because some self-proclaimed guru told them to, who's really never built a duplicating team, or maybe she has, maybe she hadn't. And again, I'm not talking about anybody in particular. It's rampant. It's everywhere. And then, you know, maybe I need to do something else. So they burn money on worthless leads, which even if buying leads and calling them did work, it would never duplicate. It would never duplicate. And we sit around with doing unproductive activities, waiting until the old upline that we knew 4 companies ago calls and wants to get you in on the latest, greatest, never been done before, next billion-dollar company, and we want to get you in and get you in a good position. And when that happens, they call everybody that they've ever known in network marketing. They sponsor a few people, then wait for it to duplicate. It doesn't. And they continue this pattern like they're in the middle of a lifeboat just bobbing around in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Some of you are guilty of that. Many of you that have been with us since July are getting past that, and I'm so proud of you guys. So many of you are. You're getting it. If this is your first time, I'm going to prove to the best of my ability what I've been trying to communicate. The network marketing business model is not flawed, but the common practices are. Walk into any company, anywhere in the world. This is what you're going to see, a version of what you're seeing on the screen. At the top, you're going to have gurus. Most of these people are good people, caring people, loving people, really want to help people. But most of them really aren't sure how they got to where they are. Their basic response to any question is work harder and talk to more people. And I describe them as 6 different entities, Mr. or Miss Lovable. There's a lot of Mr. and Miss Lovables. Mr. or Miss Elvis, they love the spotlight. Mr. or Miss Money Focused, they're about the money. They're money motivated. Mr. or Miss Credibility, who really had a lot of credibility in their community. Mr. or Miss Personal Development, who got bit by the personal development bug, or Mr. or Mrs. Social Media Technology. So that's at the top of every company. Again, nothing wrong with these people. The majority of them are great people. Then when you look throughout the organization within any other company, you're going to see 2 distinct groups. You're going to see the people that have been around the network marketing industry 10 plus years and have been bitten by the residual income bug. You'll see them in every company. And then you'll see the 2 years or less newbies. That's the majority of most people, and 99% of the companies. I'll even say it's 100% of the companies. The question we should be asking ourselves is, where are the 3 to 9 year people? Where's the next wave of leadership? Where are they? Where are they? It's important. They are not there. My first 15 years in the business, you could walk into any organization, any company, and it was pretty evenly mixed regarding the amount of time people have been around. It's not today. There's a reason, and something's wrong. Those who don't study history are doomed to repeat it. I love this cartoon. Yet those who do study history are doomed to stand by helplessly while everybody else repeats it. I made the decision in July. I'm not going to stand by helplessly. I'm going to give this all I can give it. I owe it to the industry. There's good people out there that are in lifeboats. I could give you hundreds of examples like I'm getting ready to share with you tonight, but I'm going to share one, and this might hopefully create a little bit of a pendulum swing for you. This is a quote from Raising a Giant, which in my opinion is the best book that's ever been written on network marketing. It's by Bob Crisp. I know somebody told me this week that somebody else knocked off the name and wrote another book called Raising the Giant because the original Bob Crisp book is no longer in print. If you can ever get your hands on this book, get it. check Amazon from time to time, but that's what it looks like. And write down the name Bob Crisp. If it's by anybody else, it's a fraud. It's not what we're talking about. But in the book, it was a phenomenal book. Bob said a lot of things, but one of the things he said is the majority of network marketers quit within 72 hours after they join. If you've been around any time at all, you know that's true. Maybe they don't quit, but emotionally, psychologically, they're done. They go mention it to their best friend, a couple of people at work, and their mama. They talk too much. They're excited. Their ignorance on fire. They talk too much. They try to convince people to buy or join, and they get blown off. And emotionally, psychologically, they're gone. Now, they might still hang around on your conference calls and check in because they like hanging out with the network marketers better than they do the people at their choir practice. But emotionally, psychologically, they're gone. Now, if that is true, and we all know it is if we've been around very long at all, how can we expect to create any kind of momentum with this fact right in front of us? Let's just stop and think about that, guys. How can you build a team when history has shown that most people are going to quit emotionally and psychologically within 72 hours after they join? Now, and I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer. I know the answer to this. But again, this is just one of so many things, so many questions that leaders need to be asking themselves on a daily, weekly, monthly basis about what's going on. Why, after 70 years, are we okay with this being normal, this being okay, this just being the way it is? Only 5% are going to make it. 95% are going to quit. Why do we tolerate that when factually it does not have to be that way? I think we accept so many things as this is the way it is, and believe me, I'm as much of a this is the way it is person as anybody walking this planet. But I don't accept everything somebody says or tries to accept. I could not accept this. Now, the people that we're working with today, one-on-one, high-level coaching clients, the people we work with one-on-one, they know. And all of you that are plugged into what we're doing, it doesn't matter where you are, but every single one of you that are really plugged into how to get people started right and everything that we teach, within 10 seconds after people join, you can ask them this question to help eliminate this. And the question is, the statement is, we're following the training systems from a generic network marketing trainer, that would be me, who developed more 5- and 6-figure leaders on his personal team than anyone in the world. I can't even believe that I'm saying that. And if anybody knows any generic trainer on the planet that has documented facts of developing more 5- and 6-figure income earners on their personal team, okay, I'm getting a message saying that I've lost the sound. Come back and let me know if it's up. Because I was on a row too, and I don't want to miss this. So I don't know where I started. But it's how can we expect to create any kind of momentum if after 72 hours, most of the people that we enroll are going to quit emotionally and psychologically? And why, after 70 years in this industry, do we accept that as being normal or okay? And see, there's many questions like that I've asked myself over the years when we were building teams. It's really, really, really important. So the people that we work with one-on-one, consulting clients one-on-one, and anybody that really is following our systems, or how to get people started right, the retail to recruit system, the two-step recruiting process, the things that we teach, anybody that is following that, you can ask people the exact same, or you can make the exact same statement that I'm getting ready to share with you. At the end, you can say, we are following the training systems from a generic network marketing trainer, that would be me, who developed more 5- and 6-figure leaders on his personal team than anyone in the world. Do you want to plug in with us, or do you want to do this on your own? And if they say, no, I want to plug in, that gives you the right to provide directional leadership to those people. And see, guys, it really blows my mind that I can sit here tonight with a straight face and say, look, there's no network marketing trainer on the planet that's developed more 5- and 6-figure leaders personally on their team than I did, and it's documented. I'm not talking about all the grand stories that gurus tell themselves and other people. And if there is somebody that's a generic trainer that has developed more than I have, I would love to just have coffee with them. Please let me know who it is. And again, this is not about me, guys. It's about what I know to be true. As I said, when I started, I didn't know squat, didn't know anything. The most least likely to succeed. But we cannot accept, and then if they say, yeah, I want to get plugged in, then the next statement is, okay, I don't want you to say anything to anybody right now, not even your mama. Not even your mama. Don't even tell anybody. I want you to take some time, and what's the first thing? You guys know, many of you, what's step number one? It's always step number one, and that is decide why. Until you know why, the how doesn't matter. 20 reasons, top 3. I'm not going to cover all that tonight. The next thing I've never shared, it's the first time tonight, I want you to memorize what I'm getting ready to share with you. The first network marketing company was started in 1932. From 1932 to 1994, distributors recruited the only way they could, which was in their warm market and their local market. Some advanced distributors developed what were called long-distance sponsoring systems. Some of you worked with me many years ago, and you know, before the internet, and many of you knew that we had a program called How to Build a Nationwide Organization that we would not even let you buy. You couldn't even purchase it for any amount of money until you were at a certain level in the comp plan. And oh, Dale, that's unfair. You let your top people buy it, but you won't let me use this. And I heard all that junk. But the reality is, you cannot teach algebra to somebody that doesn't know how to do basic addition yet. And obviously, the industry has not figured that out. You learn sequentially, step by step. Each concept idea builds upon the previous. Now, if we step back and we look at warm market, local market, why did that work so well from 1932 all the way to 1994? Why did the industry basically have continuous growth from the beginning? Here's why. This is important. Follow me. If you're talking to people that you have high credibility with, let's say for you to sponsor someone, you need a score of 10, 1-0, and you're communicating with somebody in your local market or someone that you actually know personally, is your credibility going to be higher naturally? I don't think this is debatable. If I was in New Orleans a couple of weeks ago, we were going to get some gumbo and good New Orleans food. and there was a guy sitting outside of a shop in what I call the husband seat. Some of you know what I'm talking about. And he had a University of Kentucky t-shirt on. And I said, hey, they didn't do that well last night, did they? And he knew because of the hat I was wearing, I was talking about my beloved Kentucky Wildcats. We had an instant connection because of the team that we followed. I could have not had that conversation with someone that had a North Carolina Tar Heels shirt on. Definitely not a Louisville Cardinals or an Indiana Hoosiers shirt. I might have still said something because I know they were a college basketball fan, which would give me a little bit of credibility, but I hope you understand what I'm saying. You know, it's hard for me to relate with people in the Northeast. Their accent bothers me. And I'm just being honest. There's awesome, good, honest. We got a lot of customers, clients in the Northeast, and I love people. I love people around the world, but in the Northeast, it's kind of hard for me to understand them. And they think, and I know many of you think, well, Dale, who you think you're talking to? Country accent guy. I get that. I understand that. I'm just trying to make a point, guys, because I think we don't get this. The credibility factor when you start is really, really, really important. And if I am in my local market, then I have a ton of credibility, even if I don't know the person personally. And if I know the person personally, or maybe their aunt goes to church with my aunt, or they're in the women's club together, or whatever, they go to the same workout facility, there's credibility that can be established fairly quickly. So when we start, let's say you start with people that you personally know, and that should put you in a 7, 8, 9 level credibility category. Now, when you start, your skill sets and your mindsets and your temptation to talk too much is your skill sets and mindsets are very low. That's natural. It doesn't mean you're not going to be powerful. It just means that's the way it is. I promise you, if I was taking a crochet class, my skill sets would be very low. Network marketing is a unique business because not only does it require skill sets, but it also requires mindsets. So if your skill sets and mindsets aren't real applicable to this business model, maybe you're at a 2. But if you're talking to people that are 7, 8s, and 9s, what are your odds of getting to a 10 and possibly enrolling that person on your team? Does this make sense? This is critical for everything else I'm going to share with you. Credibility plus skill sets and mindsets equal outcome. Now, as your business continues to grow and you get some experience and you've launched your business, maybe you can go to the next city town over and do some promotions, and your credibility in that town might be a 4 or 5, but now your skill sets, mindsets, your terminology that you're using is increasing. So now your skill sets and mindsets are a 4 or 5, and maybe your credibility is a 4 or 5. So it is a progression. It's a natural progression. It's sequential. I hope you got that. I would just like to stop and let you think about that and sleep on that and come back and think about this some more, because if you have to really, and I've done my best, guys, I hope you see what I'm saying. It's not my opinion. It's just human nature. It's just human nature. It's the way it's set up. Now we can fight it and try to shortcut it and try to do something else and do some, but you cannot fight the obvious. Man, I hope I've communicated that well. Why this works, starting your local market and with people that you know, there's little or no promotional cost. People will know if you have a true belief in your product, and it gives you the best odds for success. The best odds for success. And it also gives you time to practice. Y'all have heard me talk about perfect. Practice makes perfect. Practice your follow-up scripts. Practice the things we teach that we've refined and know work. Practice. And I will say this, when AutoShip got hot, I did not want to implement AutoShip in any way, shape, or form in our team. And you say, well, Dale, that's ridiculous. I'm not saying I'm against AutoShip. Hear what I'm saying. When somebody joins, I want them to get on the product. I want them to try the products. I want them to be a product of the product. I do. They have to have personal experience. If they don't, they have no business even involved in network marketing. They're just trying to make a few extra bucks, and that's not what this industry is about. However, I don't want the pressure of an AutoShip to run them out of the business before they can develop the skill sets and mindsets that they can develop. It can be developed by every person that enters this industry. And I don't want AutoShip to run them out before they have the opportunity to do that. And again, I'm not against AutoShip in general. But people think AutoShip secures your income. What a joke. Wake up. Wake up. That's ridiculous. Making a difference and leading and guiding and directing people is what's going to make a difference in your income. AutoShips can be canceled. You're building a volunteer army. Wake up. Wake up. In 1995, again, from 32 to 94, progression. In 1995, the shift started to change. In 95, for the very first time, the focus started to change from war market and local market to recruiting and competing with each other. We discovered after Success Magazine came out with the first issue of We Create Millionaires that, hey, there's other people that are involved in other companies. Again, guys, this is before the internet, okay? But we start realizing that there's other people and there's companies called Herbalife and MetaFresh and Space Age Foods and Enhance and other companies. We all knew about Amway, Mary Kay, Tupperware, but we realized that, hey, this is getting big. There's a lot of more companies out there. And so that's kind of the trend. Stay with me. And then what we started doing is we started as an industry, I never did. I'm not guilty of this. But as an industry, we started trying to appeal to the mediocrity in people. And that's when we first saw the gimmick marketing plans where we're going to pay you 45% on your second level and you only need X number of people and you can make $800. Now, it obviously took away the long-term residual six-figure income potential, but hey, you can make $1,000 with only 17 people or whatever. And people started tweaking pay plans. They started looking for ways to shortcut the system to get away from the foundational principles on which the industry was developed. And it would not work because, and again, I was building during this time, and I actually had, and nothing against these companies, but I had people in Herbalife, A.L. Williams, Enhance, Space Age Foods, MetaFresh. The last three are obviously out of business. The first two are billion-dollar companies. But the last three are now gone. But I had these people that were responding to my ads in the Thrifty Nickel and contacting me and setting appointments and wasting my time and theirs because all they wanted to do was to play the mine's better than yours game. And then I had people that would play the disgusting I'll join yours if you join mine game. If you'll join mine, I'll join yours. Look, guys, it's not about sponsoring. It's not about sponsoring people. It's about finding the right people at the right time in their life that are sick and tired of being sick and tired and want to create financial independence. That's the game. It's not about, well, you're selling this product to your mom. Take this space age food and sell it to your mom and you can make a $7 profit. That's not what network marketing is about. It's not about all the stuff that we hear today. And again, this all started, this shift in 1995. Now more than ever, we're mostly just recruiting each other. Before I get into this, just ask yourself as I go through this very quickly, does this describe network marketing today, the time of this recording, February of 2016? Ask yourself as I go through this. Now more than ever, we're mostly just recruiting each other. Eventually, we have to stop and learn how to create leads and bring those that we have never been in the industry in. This is not my words, by the way. Today, there's a constant ebb and flow of distributors from company to company. Those who migrate like gypsies from program to program, always looking for a better deal. And this segment of the MLM population is huge. And just a side note, the rest of the world that are building real businesses sits back and looks at what we're doing and they think to themselves, who do they think they're kidding? Today, everybody seems to be into retreading existing distributors over and over and dreaming about landing the big heavy hitter. The industry has become sluggish, lazy, and one filled with a lot of spoiled opportunists looking for something for as close to nothing as possible. These are not my words, and what I'm getting ready to share with you next should give you a jolt. These are segments that I pulled from an article. And again, guys, is this the state of today or not? This article I pulled from an article written, it's called The Land of 10,000 Unrecruited Heavy Hitters by Lynn Clements in 1995, almost 20 years ago. Now, if that doesn't give you a little bit of a chill, it should. If you care about the long-term growth, not only of yourself, your organization, but the network marketing profession. In 1995, the shift started. The focus changed to recruiting and competing with each other. Also, along this time, you had companies like ProStep and all these different companies that started selling leads to distributors in an effort to do things quicker, faster, and easier. Then as companies went out of business, there was a whole market created for selling genealogy leads of defunct MLM companies, and all this started to become very common. And other flawed marketing concepts built upon sand. There's still people today that spend good money every month buying leads instead of taking the time to learn how to generate their own leads and to become a lead generation specialist master. But in 1995, we started getting away from local market, warm market. And you're saying, Dale, do you not believe in cold market? Absolutely, I believe in cold market. I already said that we created a program years ago called How to Build a Nationwide Organization. Yes, I believe in internet. I love it. I'm going to cover all that. I don't want to lose you because you miss me. I'm talking about foundation. I'm talking about getting it moving forward. I'm talking about launching it, getting it off the ground. This doesn't work because long-term success is impossible without the right skill sets and mindsets. There's no marketing method that will ever create success. None. Period. End of story. We quit taking, and what we started doing, we started teaching wisdom of the ages principles and concepts, and we got away from the core fundamentals of personal development program with a compensation plan attached. And we started thinking that a company, a product, or a whiz-bang comp plan was going to make us successful. And the truth is 100% of zero is still zero. If you buy leads, you're a 1 or 2 on the credibility factor at best if you happen to get a lead from someone in your own state. And if your skill sets and mindsets are not where they need to be, if you don't know what to say when you follow up, if you don't have free publications like we make available at Proven MLM Scripts, if you don't know what to say, then it doesn't matter to begin with. So by 1999, we had totally left the fundamentals and wisdom of the ages, common sense, team building, and recruiting systems. We replaced it with gimmick marketing plans, lead generation programs, and ProStep was in full force, and other flawed marketing concepts that will never create duplication. Now, again, guys, you got to understand at this time I've been around 19 years in the industry. It totally 100% might change my life. I was beyond just flabbergasted that the shift could happen so quickly. And when the internet got here, it just was the nail in the coffin for me personally. I did my best during this time to try to speak reason into the market. I did an audio called Network Marketing is a Scam. It was in 1999, and I got death threats over this. But my message was, guys, we cannot continue to appeal to mediocrity, telling people we're going to do 90% of the work and they can keep 100% of the paycheck. We got to get away from this. We're going to run off level-headed, business-minded people with all the minutia that we're putting in all the home business magazines and all the ads that we're doing. Listen, a 3 to 5 year game plan to financial independence is awesome. It's good enough. Compare that to the 40-year corporate America plan. We got to tell people the truth. We got to keep it realistic. But we were competing with each other. My Pignogenol is better than your Pignogenol, and the list goes on and on and on. I also wrote a booklet called Why the Masses of Network Marketers Are Frustrated, Confused, and Don't Have a Clue What They're Doing. I introduced The Confessions of a Network Marketing Millionaire, the first generic training program I ever produced. And ironically, I did it after I had already developed a multi-million-dollar net worth and millionaires on my team and over 1,000 5- and 6-figure earners. We got people out there today trying to teach people how to do something they've never done. It's rampant everywhere you look. I did everything I possibly could. I submitted the article. It got published in the Executives Corner for network marketing owners and CEOs, called Inspire Greatness or Cater Mediocrity. I saw it. I experienced it. And it all started when we got away from communicating with high people that we have high credibility with. And then here came the attraction marketing crowd in 2000. It was hitting the fan. And the industry itself it went into a total state of speculation. And they started putting radically wrong information in the marketplace. Like, throw away your warm market list. Don't talk to your friends and family members. Follow my affiliate program and you will make money. Even if people don't join you in your primary business, you can sell whatever affiliate program and you can still make profit, and the attraction marketing BS just regurgitated all over the industry. And these people were excellent marketers. They appealed to people's feelings that there's something out there that I'm not getting, because, and again, this is all natural feelings, everybody goes through it, but they try to convince all the masses that your upline's got a secret they're not telling you about, your company has a secret, and here it came. And you know what? It just shocks me that there's actually still people that buy into this stuff today. It's not as bad as it once was, but man, it's still out there. It's still out there. You know, the latest one that just exploded was, oh, we're going to teach everybody how to blog, because if you have to be a blogger if you expect to have success. What nonsense. And of course, Empower Network exploded, and all these high level internet marketers made a fortune because newbies were passing up their first sale, and a lot of people got wealthy at the expense of the masses. And this whole attraction marketing thing, we got to understand once and for all what the real deal is with these things, guys. They were totally put the industry in a state of dissipation, as affiliate marketers created old school, new school war. And you still hear people talk about that sometimes today. And they absolutely convinced the masses to focus on not building their team with their company, but convince them to start marketing their affiliate products instead of building their network marketing teams, and telling people that, look, your mediocrity is not your fault. It's your company's fault, your sponsor's fault, or your old school upline's fault. That's the story. If you've been around any time at all, you've heard it numerous times. And see, we all start out mediocre at best. That's the truth. The truth is we all have to develop the skill sets and mindsets necessary to function effectively in this business model. That's the truth. It's not your upline's fault. It's not your sponsor's fault. It's not your company's fault. There's nothing they don't want you to know. It's not, oh, just, all you have to do is, is just, follow my affiliate program, sell my affiliate ebook or course. You'll make money from the 97% of people that are not going to join your business, and blah, 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 blah. And it's just not reality. The numbers have not changed. And the problem is a lot of people got caught up in this. People that could have built teams with proper direction got caught up in this. They left the industry and they'll never return. And that should concern every single one of us. You would think that people would stop and think, maybe maybe I could have done something differently along my path. Maybe it's not the warm market. Maybe it was my approach to my warm market. Could it possibly have been your approach? It's not the warm market. My gracious, common sense tells us that you're going to increase the odds of success with people that you have credibility with. That's not debatable, is it? Is it? So we attract all these people that are looking, again, as Lynn said in 1995, something as close to nothing as possible. I was doing some research earlier, and guys, there are thousands of these that I could have pulled off YouTube, thousands. Okay, the evidence is overwhelming. It's right in front of you. Attraction marketing will not work for 97% of network marketers. 97%. Here's just an example. And I don't know who this young man is. I've never met him. He's probably a great young man. He probably could have built a team if he had gotten proper direction. But look at this guy. Let's just look at this. Look at the titles of his videos. Sponsor more team members in your downline. Create more wealth. Sponsor more welcome video. Sponsor more members today. Best way to MLM. And this guy had 12 videos on the internet on YouTube. You can see his highest views was like 17. He did them all 6 years ago. He hasn't done a video in 6 years. His domain is gone dormant. He's out of the industry, never to return, because he ended up buying the Kool-Aid on you have to position yourself as a business consultant and attract people into your downline. Even if calling yourself a home business consultant, if that tactic bumps you up a little bit in the credibility scale for some naive people, the only people you're going to attract are people that are as ignorant and naive as you are. And when I say ignorant, guys, I'm not saying that derogatory. I'm ignorant about multiple things. Okay, I sincerely feel sorry for this young man and many, many, many that have gone before him, and I just don't want any to come after him. We got to nip this junk in the rear end and get down to reality and human nature and wisdom of the ages, and don't just tell people, oh, you don't have to talk to anybody, you can be a guru, do your guru videos, and you will attract people that will be calling you on the phone, screaming their credit card numbers in the phone, demanding to get involved with you in your affiliate program. This is an article I wrote, the last 2 or 3 weeks. You can go do your own search. On YouTube, there are over 42,000 self-proclaimed network marketing gurus or ninjas or masters or rock stars or consultants or trainers right now on YouTube. 99% of them have bought into this. I'm going to position myself as an authority, and I'm going to attract people. I'm not going to be the hunted. The hunter. I'm going to become hunted, and people are going to know me, like me, and trust me, and therefore they're going to want to do business with me. And if that is the truth, you're dealing with a person that has their business mind is let's just say not that strong. And in the process, business-minded people sit back and look at all this and think, my gracious, how did so many people get the wool pulled over their eyes? I was asking myself that years ago when we first started telling people, hey, people started telling people, look, just go in the Thrifty Nickel in your newspaper and you'll find network marketing distributors and just call them and set appointments with them. They'll drive to your house and you can have prospects coming to your house every day. We got totally away from foundational, real business, common sense and principles. In 2015, the social media brand yourself mindset had absolutely propelled the industry, and it still is, right into a state of dissipation. And you end up with a lot of followers and gurus, and the only way to preserve, I believe, the greatest business model the world's ever known, and I believe it's the greatest business model the world's ever known, is to return the industry to its roots of personal development with a compensation plan attached based upon duplicatable systems, because only systems can be duplicated. Now there's this trend, and we all see it, where people that have never done anything, and primarily through social media, are trying to build their brand. Listen, guys, I understand that 100%. I agree with that 100%. If you are selling a product, if you own a dress boutique, if you have an internet-based company that's selling coffee around the world, and the list goes on and on and on and on, I agree with that philosophy. 100%. Create your brand. But in network marketing, that's not what it's about. We are in the leadership development. Your product is people. Ultimately, your product is a well-trained distributor. Just like a franchise business is built, that's how you build teams. Welcome to McDonald's. What can we get started for you today? And y'all, some of you have heard me talk about this till I'm blue in the face. Right before I got ready to hop on tonight, I got somebody sent me a tweet and wanted me to jump on somebody's Periscope, and they were going to teach everybody how to brand your way to $10,000, brand your way to 10K in network marketing. It just makes me throw up in my mouth. I love social media. I believe social media has become the internet. I think everybody should be participating in social media. I think it's an awesome way to sell products. I think it's a way to get your name in the marketplace. I have no problem with the fundamental concept behind it in any way, shape, or form. But it is not the way to try to, from day one, build your business. There's a sequential process, and if you try to shortcut it, you'll never get down the road, because you can't count to 10 if you skip numbers 1, 4, 5, and 12. Say, Dale, why does 12 matter? Because I promise you'll never get to 10 if you much less 12. Network marketing is about building teams of people. The real product is people. It's not about marketing tactics. Marketing tactics are fine. Marketing tactics are important, but there's a time and place for marketing tactics. Okay, and you cannot depend upon marketing tactics, because it's not about marketing tactics. When you get your focus away from the development of people and on marketing tactics, you ultimately lose. With network marketing business model, you will lose 100% of the time. That's one of the many reasons that you have more people that have got to $100,000 a year and today are no longer in the industry than you have people that are in the industry making $100,000 a year. Because they got there and they could not duplicate what they did. Nothing they ever did was systematic. They were bobbers and weavers and shot from the hip. And marketing channels change. There's people that build huge organizations with Google AdWords, and then the Google slap came and they were gone. They were gone. There's people that build awesome organizations, great customers with Facebook 2-3 years ago, and Facebook has totally changed their algorithms, where it used to be 100% of your message would show up. Now it's about, latest statistics I've seen, between 12 and 15% of people actually see your post. I could go on and on and on. Well, Dale, you're talking about, I use Google AdWords. I teach my people to use Google AdWords. You shouldn't talk bad about Google AdWords. Guys, I'm saying you cannot depend upon one marketing channel. You must become a master of lead generation, and you can. And especially lead generation in your local market where you have credibility. When a movement gets away from its fundamental core values, there's always unintended consequences. And that's what we're experiencing full throttle today in this industry. Is it too late? No. As I said earlier, there's more upside potential right now today than I have ever, than at any time in the history of network marketing. I believe that in my toes, for a limited number of people, for people that can get down to where the rubber hits the road and forget all the junk that is surrounding them daily. For those of you that have not seen a critical message to network marketing professionals, a webinar that Ron Henley and I did, I want to recommend that you write that down and do take a look at it this weekend sometime. It's important. You have to understand it. DaleCalvert.com/critical. If you say, Dale, well, what are the fundamentals you're talking about? What is the retail system? What's the recruiting system? DaleCalvert.com/core. Both free webinars you can access. Will give you a lot more deeper insight on this if this is your first time with us tonight. I know I'm going to get hate email over this. I know I do, but I am right, and I know I'm right, and I don't even want to be right, but I'm right at a level that it haunts me. It just haunts me. And I don't want to be right. I would rather not have to worry about the people in the lifeboat in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. My life would be a lot simpler if I didn't have to worry about the people in the lifeboat in this Pacific Ocean, but I can't help it. I just can't help it. It's in my DNA. Attraction marketing totally put the network marketing industry in the lifeboat. As affiliate marketers created the old school, new school war. This is important, so I'm saying it again. Convincing the masses to focus on selling their affiliate products to downline members instead of building their network marketing teams and telling them their mediocrity and fear of failure and fear of rejection is not their fault. It's your company, enroller, or old school sponsor. It's been nearly 20 years and the numbers are still the numbers. It hasn't changed a daggone thing. And I can remember on spouting, we're going to change the numbers. We're going to make 97% successful. And only 3% are going to fail with our Lead System Pro, blah, 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 blah. Based upon nothing, no documentation to back up anything that they were saying. Fundamentally, there's nothing wrong with attraction marketing methods except for the fact that the internet marketing learning curve is never ending. And quite frankly, I kind of like that. I enjoy learning new marketing methods. I love it. Okay, but the problem is if you're dependent upon one, I promise you it will change. I've always viewed the internet as an addition to the proven marketing methods and personal development success principle foundations, not a replacement. You can go back and watch videos I did 10 years ago, read articles I wrote 12 years ago. That's always been my position. It's a fantastic addition, but it's not a replacement. It's not a replacement because you to have success, especially when you launch, you need to have the credibility numbers working for you. There's a place for all-inclusive online marketing systems, and I like those, and we've promoted those through some of our outsourcers in the past, made great money. I like these websites where people can go, they hear the whole story, they pay $27, they join, they access all the training, they get their own website, and if they know how to drive traffic to a site that will convert, then they can make a few $100 extra a month. And I don't have any problem with that at all. I use that money as advertising budget, and I don't have to send any of the emails because I can outsource all that. And if I can outsource it and make a profit, I have no problem with that. But to call it network marketing or think you're building a team just because it pays on multi-levels is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's not what this business is about. Again, this business is about creating wealth in 3 to 5 years. It's not about a few $100 extra a month. The problem in the last 10, 15 years, the 27%ers ultimately end up leaving the industry. That's why you see such a gap and there's not any 3 to 9 year people. Does that make sense? The 27%ers say, this is ridiculous. It doesn't make sense to me. I'm never going to learn all this stuff. This is way, 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 way too much. Nobody's teaching them how to eat the elephant one bite at a time, because all they're really concerned about is you buying their $297 lead program so they can make their $200 commission. That has nothing to do with building a team with a legitimate network marketing company. The amount of misguided people I've communicated with over the past 6 months is horrifying, because they believe the fluff. They really believe the fluff, and fluff that is impossible to ever duplicate. And they really think that that it's standard operating procedure. The biggest frustration that I have is people telling me, Dale, I've done this and I've done this and this is not working. And it's like, I never have ever in my life taught that and do that and do that. So I don't know what you're even talking about. Just this week, this is just a few I heard this week. Somebody told me this, Dale, I kind of lost my enthusiasm because my sponsor says I can't start my business until I have X number of Facebook friends and X number of Twitter followers. Somebody actually told somebody that. I'm anxious to start as soon as I can, find someone to shoot my home business consultant video for YouTube. Somebody told me that this week. I have to have my home business consultant video for YouTube. And it's like, who is telling you that? Launch your business, make some money, get moving forward in your local market, then continue to expand your lead generation. There is a time and place for every single one of you for YouTube, but it's not when you start. Dale, I'm going to have a yard sale, so I can do an XYZ lead system at the whatever level. It was like executive level or something. I'm ordering your losephoneFear.com program, Dale, because I need to start my business and call the professionals I find in the yellow pages, but it's hard for me to get up the nerve. Guys, these are all conversations I have had this week. This week. So if I seem a little bit wound tonight, this is why, because this has got to stop. It's got to stop. Some of you can answer this question. Some of you have never even thought about this question. But I want you to really, really, really understand this question, the answer. Really get it. There's only one reason to recruit outside your warm market and your local market. And again, as you progress, man, build it nationwide. Build it worldwide. I'm all for lead generation, every way you can generate it, but I believe it has to be learned sequentially. And it's not the place to start. YouTube is not the place to start a new distributor. The only reason to recruit in the cold market or outside your warm market and local market is to help your new person launch their business in their warm market and their local market. This is how you stack the odds in your favor, not by putting a video on YouTube calling yourself a home business consultant. I remember the first long distance person that we sponsored that was really serious. They were in Florida. And again, this was before the internet. And I remember making a couple of trips down there to help them get their business launched. And it was different on the phone because you didn't have online presentations. But, so there is a time and place for that, guys. There is. But you have to understand, if you're going to win this game, then you got to get really, really good at helping people launch where they have 7, 8, 9 credibility, even when their communication skill sets, mindsets aren't where they need to be yet. That's how you win this game. Here's the 7 mindsets. 80% of the new people that join an MLM company join with a friend, family member, or coworker. Even today, 20 years after all the internet attraction marketing, blah, blah, blah stuff in the marketplace. 20 years after the fact, I can walk into any audience in any company. There can be 1,000 people there. There can be 300 people there. There can be 10,000 people there. And I can say, how many of you got started in this industry with a friend, family member, coworker? It's 80%. 80%. That's where the numbers work. That's where you win the game. That's where you win the game, not going on Periscope and trying to position yourself as an authority in your market. And again, I'm not against that, but do it, then talk about it. Your work starts after a new person joins. A lot of people think that recruiting is the end. Recruiting is the beginning. It's not just about getting them in, it's about keeping them in and helping them move forward. You don't make a profit burping and diapering distributors. Guys, every week I'm not, it's obvious, it should be obvious to every first time person that's still with us tonight. I'm not trying to hope that you know me, like me, and trust me. I'm really not. So that I can back you into my deal, or so that I can sell you a seat to my seminar or whatever. I'm not about that. It's about impact. Your income is in direct proportion to the value that you provide to the market that you serve. That's how income is created. So when you're building a team, it's your team. You aren't obligated to stay on the phone with anybody. It's okay to say, you know what, you ought to quit. It's okay to say that to people. Okay, because there's some people you're just not going to be able to build with. After you sponsor them, your goal is to end the business relationship as soon as possible. As soon as they've shown they do not have the ability to fall and get back up, you have definite closure and you move on. Dale, I can't have definite closure. They might not pay. They might not do their $40 auto ship next month. See, that's not what this is about. You're building your team. It's not about keeping as many people on auto ship next month as you possibly can and worrying about next month's check. This is about developing total financial independence in 3 to 5 years, and you do that from developing leaders with duplicatable systems that can be taught to others, that can be taught to others, that can be taught to others. That's how the game is won, period. End of story. I don't care how many gurus disagree with me. Daggone it, I know what I know, and after 20 years, it should be obvious to everybody. It should be. And you cannot invest your emotions into people that do not have the ability to fall and get back up. And again, I talk about this in great detail in the retention system program we have. All the top income earners make 90% of their income from 3 organizations or less. Hear that again. 3 or less. And you're worrying about Susie falling off auto ship next month because you told her until she figures out why she's doing the business and gets you a copy of her 20 reasons, you can't move forward with her. That part of that is not just what Earl Nightingale says in The Strangest Secret, which is wisdom is of the age's truth. The people that write down what they want accomplish more than the 3% that do accomplish more than the 97% that don't. But it's also a hurdle. It's is this person I can put my time, energy, effort behind? And if they're not now, maybe they will be later. Let's just have definite closure right now and keep on rolling, because I'm never going to run out of people to talk to. And every minute I spend with this person is taking me away from finding one of my 3 leaders that's going to ultimately lead to 90% of my income. It's short-sighted thinking. It's get 3 and yours is free. We got to get so far past that mentality. Number 6, fear of loss is the number one motivator to the human race. The number one phrase I can share with people, I talk about this in the Confessions of a Network Marketing video series. The phrase that's made me more money when I was building than any other phrase is, "Hey Joe, are you still interested, or can I go ahead and scratch you off my list?" Say, "Well, Dale, I don't want to scratch them." No, you want to chase them. Chasing does not work. You want to convince them. Convincing does not work. Amateurs try to convince, professionals sort. And people say, "Oh, Dale, you could do that because you were a good recruiter and you had a good organization moving forward." The only reason I was ever to become a recruiter of any kind at all, or create an organization that moved forward, is because I got this before I ever had the organization. I had the mentality that, daggone it, I'm building a team, and I would rather scratch them off my list than trying to track them down with a phone call for the next 2 or 3 weeks, because I did that for 3 years. I wasted so much time, energy, and effort chasing people that ultimately I really didn't want to begin with. We're looking for people that are looking for us. We're looking for people whose window is open. The timing is right. You cannot control that. All you can control is how many people that you can get into your funnel that can hear the entire story. People are not going to follow you if you don't know where you're going. If you don't have a plan for yourself, how can you have a plan for them? Put the oxygen mask on yourself first. Here's a bonus tip. If you're going to be in sales, sell yachts. Network marketing is a leadership development business model. Your income has nothing to do with how many products you sell. The only reason to recruit, or the only reason to retail, is to recruit. And yes, everybody should have a strong customer base to take care of your basic qualifications, but the reason you retail is to recruit. Do a 3-day, 14, 29-day, 59-day call, back them in the business after the referrals. Your income is in direct proportion to the number of leaders you develop on your team, period. We've been teaching people how to effectively launch their business and create a solid base in their local market for years, because it stacks the odds for success in your favor from the beginning. That's where you start. Okay, we've gotten totally away from it. I get that. I understand it. We're looking for simple, quick, easy shortcuts that do not exist. Buying leads didn't do it. Buying genealogy leads didn't do it. Sponsoring other network marketers didn't do it. Attraction marketing didn't do it. Positioning yourself as an expert's not going to do it. And whatever comes after that, and after that, and after that. Because the reality is, credibility plus skill sets and mindsets equal results. And credibility doesn't always have to be you know them, they know you. It can just be that you're from the same state or same town. You launch your business just like you would any other business, like Dale's Restaurant, home cooked meals. Send them a coupon and a brochure and ask them to please stop by and see you. Or in those of you that have been through our retail recruit training, letter, brochure, please pass this along to anyone that you know that could benefit from our product, and follow up. Exactly using the script that we teach. It works. Does it work 100% of the time? Of course not. Does it stack your odds, the odds for success in your favor? Yes. Why? Not because Dale says so, but because human nature, credibility factor. I estimate that 95% of the people who've joined a network marketing organization in the past 20 years, have never had someone help them effectively launch their business because of the recruiting each other rut that the industry has been in since 1995, as Lynn wrote about in the Land of 10,000 Unrecruited Heavy Hitters article. It's in a rut. It's comfortable. I mean, it's comfortable. It's comfortable. It's easy to tell me. All you got to do is just put stuff on Pinterest and you can build a $10,000 a month income. Or just like the girl was going to show us tonight, how to what was it, to 10K, whatever. I mean, it's just, I mean, you can do that. My message has been consistent since 1983 because I got grounded in wisdom of the ages truth, and I was willing to take responsibility and expand my comfort zone and get past my fear of the phone and so many other fears that I had when I started. I was willing to expand my comfort zone, and that's the only place growth can come from. I tell you what, I think one of the reasons that I'm so concerned about the people in the lifeboat is I am so thankful that I wasn't surrounded by wolves in sheep's clothing, promising me a quicker, faster, easier way to do it when I started. My inbox wasn't full with the latest, greatest affiliate program that's going to bring, 50 leads to you to a day, begging to join your team, and on and on and on, and all the stuff that we see every day. And I'm so thankful because I don't know if I had had all that distraction, if I would have ever been able to find my network marketing mentor. And I don't know if I would have ever really got focused in on understanding wisdom of the ages principles work for everybody, that the law of average doesn't just work for people that live in California or New York or Mississippi, that it works for people around the world. And I started to learn these basic concepts, and it made a tremendous, tremendous difference. And I understood the real product was people, and if you build people, you build the business, and that leaders are developed, not found. Anyone can learn the skill sets and mindsets required to build a real business and a duplicating team. And I want to really push that point tonight. Formal education makes you a living. If you become self-educated, you can create a fortune. There's not one person, listen to me tonight, if you were able to log on to this webinar without any help, then you have the intelligence, all the intelligence you'll ever need to build a large, duplicating organization of people, because repetition is the key to learning. And when you're learning the right scripts based upon human nature, and you're learning the right systems and methods, not because somebody that calls themselves a guru tells you you have to position yourself as authority. But guys, I and again, I'm so blessed. I'm so thankful. And it's like, there's people here listening tonight that have experienced exactly what I'm trying to communicate with you. They they witnessed, they know the 1,000 people that were making a 5- and 6-figure income. Some of them listening tonight were part of that team. And you know what? They saw thousands more coming down the road right behind them. This is how you build teams. For those of you that got on late, this is the last reminder. If you've not left a review, honest review, and you participate in the SAC promotion, the CD we did last week on Amazon, you want to be in the drawing. We're getting ready to do in about 3 minutes. You got 3 minutes to get a review up there, or we can't include you in the drawing. I just needed to say that real quick. So you need to help every new member launch their business, then find 5 ways after it's launched in their warm market with people they know, asking referrals, never asking people to buy or join, doing it the exact way we teach it. Then you have to help them focus on their local market. And again, guys, we've got all kinds of courses and programs that teach this. And again, works today better than it ever has. Absolutely does. Somebody gets a handwritten postcard in the mail today. Do you think that's going to get their attention? How many people? When's the last time you got a handwritten postcard in the mail? I mean, everything that we've ever taught really it works even better today than it ever has, because the internet is flooded with people that are trying to get people's attention. And people have listened to enough people and wasted enough time because they never ask, who is this person and why should I be listening to them? And they never get the backstories on people. And they've implemented things that now, looking back on it, made absolutely positively no business sense. And I think the local market is more prime than it's ever been. Got a couple of free gifts for you guys tonight, especially for those of you that have never been on our webinar before. Some of you, many of you I know have already got this. This is a book that we sell on Amazon. It's normally $7. You can find it at dalecalvert.com/7. dalecalvert.com/7. That's going to be free until Monday. Okay. And again, if you buy the book, it helps you, or you get it free, it helps you. I always appreciate reviews. Then the 6 Dimensions of MLM Training talks about the sequential process. You know, the process. How do you go from warm market, local market? How do you progress and expand your lead generation programs? And that's really kind of the thesis behind the free PDF. It's at 6dmlmtraining.com. Next week, Dawn and I, we have an event. We're leaving, I think, Saturday. We're heading to Las Vegas. We're not going to be back until late Thursday night. I may do some kind of Periscope question and answer session for you guys Thursday, depending on what time we get back. I think it's like 8, 9 o'clock before we're supposed to be back in town, so I might not be doing a webinar next week because of that. We'll be in Las Vegas. Those of you that are part of our 90-day run coaching program, the group coaching that we're doing, my plan right now is to do a call with you guys Monday, and it may be at noon Eastern or it may be 10. I have to wait and see what the schedule is, but I'll be in contact with you this week via email. I appreciate your reviews on our podcast, on Amazon, leaving comments on our blog. Guys, it's just real important, and it gives me energy, and it helps me get a good feel for what of how many people are in the lifeboat and how many people are coming towards the shore, you know. And there's a lot of you that are listening to me that you're getting it, and you're implementing it, and you're feeling it, and you understand it, and it makes sense, and you're fired up. And I'm so thankful for you, because I just, you know, that was my hope when we started this in July. And I'm very, very happy that we have people all over the world that are hearing not just these webinars, but our podcast, and you know, it's making a difference for them in their business. And that's my goal. So if you're not following us on Facebook, my Facebook business page is facebook.com/Dale Calvert page. You know, some of you were friends on my regular Facebook, but I don't talk about business much there. And then Twitter, it's the MLM Minute, and then Periscope, it's at the MLM Minute. Okay, so if you're not following us on social media, you know, that's a great place to ask questions. I respond as many as I possibly can personally every single day. And, you know, I get behind sometimes, but I do my very best to respond to you guys. I know some of you are waiting on me right now. Marcus Mays, I did get your email. I will respond. Just I will. I haven't forgot about you. The model only, let me share this with you guys. I'm gonna get a little bit personal, and then we're gonna draw for the gift card. Here's the deal. The network marketing business model, in my estimation, with right mentorship, worked at one time for 30% of the population. That's just my guesstimate. I'm doing something else, guys, as I'm talking. I apologize. We're going to do the drawing live on Periscope, so I'm getting this set up. So what's happened now is 27 percenters have 27 percenters have, so many have left the industry never to return because they were not given the proper guidance direction that they needed. And you know, I believe that what we teach gives 27% is the path that leads to success with the network marketing business model. 70% of the population is going to fail regardless of what you do, regardless of what I do, regardless of what anybody does. 70% of the population are going to die with their music still in them. And so when I talked about the people in the ocean in the boat here, earlier, I'm not talking about the 70 percenters. Man, there's 27 percenters in the boat. Those are the people that need help. So I believe that what we teach helps 27 percenters maximize their skill sets, their mindsets, their leadership, and it's how you win. And it's how you're going to win in this industry is by really focusing on those people and helping them launch their business correctly from the beginning. That's what I believe. So I'm going to share something with you guys tonight I've never shared before. And many of you have heard the story, but again, July 2015 is when I really, for the first time ever, even though Network Marketing Support Service has been around over 20 years, is when I really decided to stop, focus as much time as I possibly could. And you all know Don and I operate other businesses and other niches, but really give as much time as I possibly could to the network marketing industry and to help people the best I possibly could within that industry. And that decision was made again, 8 months ago. And I will stop July 31st of this year, and I'm going to reevaluate and just look at the numbers. I don't look at the numbers now. I don't pay any attention to any of that. My head's down. I'm doing the best I can do every single day with Network Marketing Support Service while not neglecting my other obligations. Number one is my family is before any business that we have. Here's what I believe. I think that in 5 years, as many people get connected to what we're doing as have in the previous 6 months, 7 months, and full-time people start being generated using the 5 core systems that we talk about, and then they start duplicating that. I believe that with your all's help, I really believe that we can develop, for lack of a better term, the Harvard of MLM training companies, training and development companies. And some of you are watching on Periscope that I'm actually doing a webinar here too as well. I just turned Periscope on. But I'm going to need real world professors, real world, who walk the walk, talk the talk, understand wisdom of the ages, aren't sucking their thumb and telling people, get 3 and yours is free, and all the other junk out there, and understand this industry is about developing total financial independence in 3 to 5 years. If you want to make a few $100 extra a month, go sell hammers at the flea market. That's the kind of people I want to work with. And see, I know I sit back and I look at all the fluff that's out there and all the good old boy network, and I see all the crap that's going on. And I sit back and I say, it's so prime because the minutia is going to fall, and I can see the possibility of what can happen. Am I saying we're going to do this for sure? Absolutely, positively, I'm not. but it's possible. And again, for me, it's all about time, but and other obligations. And again, my spending time with my parents and Dawn's parents and our grandkids and my kids is the most important thing in my life right now. But if we do end up launching this and developing this over a period of time, which I think is going to happen, I don't know it, I'm going to need real world professors that understand the systems for the university. That's what I'm going to need. I'm going to need people that have walked, not just talk the talk, but have walked the walk, and not just people that have created a six-figure income in the industry, because those people are a dime a dozen. But people have turned around and taught others who've taught others who've taught others based upon wisdom of the ages principles and unified duplicatable systems. So that's kind of my thoughts. That's what I'm kind of thinking about. Okay. I needed to say that. I've never mentioned that until tonight. I didn't mean to get that on Periscope, but I did. Now, we're going to, I guess y'all can see that. I really don't know. We're going, last week we did a soft launch of the SAC, Sponsor, Activate, Keep CD. Everybody kept asking me, Dale, what was the training that you were on with Jim Rohn with, and what was it? So we converted to a CD. We made available only on Amazon. A lot of you have went and ordered that. And how many reviews do we have total?
We have 14.
Can y'all see my lovely wife? 14? 14?
We have 14, but
one of them was anonymous.
They've identified themselves as just as Amazon customer.
Okay.
So
the other four, okay, got
it. If we choose this one, they can go in and update their Amazon profile name so that we can see who it is. That's why we'll know who identified themselves as Amazon customer.
Okay. Okay, so we pull, and again, guys, I'm just doing this just to make, so y'all, some of you I know are still watching on the webinar, but some of you are on Periscope now, and I just want people to know that this is 100% legit. Oh, I did want to do one thing. Can you hold this? I did want to just say thank you guys to you guys. C Dance, I'll just mention your name. C Dancy, Alice Smith, Mike Patel, Sue Austin, Deb Washington, John Graham, buddy in Oklahoma, Amy in California, my friends Cindy and John, Barbara Story, Peter Reagan, Marcus Mays. I know I owe you an email, Marcus. What's that say? Cynray, Cynray, and Tony Scott, and the Amazon customer, whoever that was. All of you guys, those of you that didn't leave a honest review, that's okay. I tried to give you as much heads up on that as I possibly can, but I got all these cards. Can you get this down? Dropping them in this. Is this our UK popcorn bucket? Okay, we got them in the UK popcorn bucket. Let me mix them up a little bit. All right. I'm gonna let her draw it, because if we don't draw it your name, you won't be mad at me. So Dawn is drawing it out. She's not looking. Huh. Deb Washington. Deb Washington. Deb is retired postal worker, I believe, in Philly. Deb, you will be receiving, we'll send it to you in the mail, go out tomorrow before we head to Las Vegas, the Amazon $25 gift card. That's going to Deb Washington. She said I knew it. Guys, again, I appreciate all of you that were on the webinar. I got so many things going. I got this computer going, recording the audio. Let me stop that. But I appreciate you guys being on the webinar, being on Periscope, jumping on here. Thanks for the hearts. Guys, I know what I know, and I know what I say is not popular. And, but it's like Jerry Clark said, 20 some years ago, Dale's one of the most controversial figures in our industry because he speaks his mind. And I think the reason I do, again, as I've gotten older, I realize that I'm so blessed because I was given an opportunity that 99.99% of the people that enter the network marketing industry are never given. And that's the opportunity to learn and internalize and get from my head. See, everything I've talked about tonight, if you've been around very long, you know in your head that it's true. You can't argue with facts. But I had the ability to get it from my head to my heart. And once it got my heart, there was no room for negotiation. And I believe that what I've shared with you guys tonight, based upon what I've seen happen and the conversations I've had with hundreds of people in the last 6 months, that with your all's help, and again, I know a lot of you promote the webinars every Thursday on your Facebook. I mean, I see what you're doing. But I think with your help, it can make a major, major positive impact. I know it will on this industry. And what's good for us as an industry is good for us. The stronger the business model is, the better it is for everybody. And right now we're in the middle of this home business revolution, and daggone it, we should be kicking rear end and taking names. We should. And, we aren't now. But with your help and you getting not what Dale says, but wisdom of the ages principles from your head to your heart, in 5 years, maybe we could be, as an industry, kicking butt and taking names. So I appreciate your time tonight. Appreciate those of you that jumped on Periscope. Congratulations, Deb Washington. Again, we've got an event in Las Vegas next week.